You've seen it, maybe every day. On the highway, pulling up behind you, sitting next to you in the middle of a rainstorm. A truck, big, heavy, powerful. You assume it's safe? You assume someone, somewhere, made sure that thing wouldn't fall apart or spin out of control. But what if that assumption could cost you your life? Today, we're exposing the truth behind what many are now calling the most dangerous truck in the United States. Not because of one freak incident, not because of driver error, but because of a design, a flaw so deep that experts warned the industry years ago. And yet, it's still out there, still being driven, still putting lives at risk every single day. And before we dive in, if you've ever seen a truck on the road that looked like it shouldn't even be moving, hit the like button. If you've got a story, drop it in the comments. And if you believe in truth over profit, subscribe to this channel. What you're about to hear isn't just information, it's a warning. Because when 80,000 pounds of machinery fails at 70 miles per hour, it doesn't just stop, it destroys, it kills. And the worst part? It was preventable. This story begins with a truck that dominates American highways. A truck sold as the future of efficiency, trusted by fleet managers, chosen by the biggest companies in the country. It was supposed to set a new standard for reliability. Instead, it's quietly become a ticking time bomb. But that's just the start. Because the deeper you go, the clearer it becomes. This isn't an isolated case. It's a pattern. And the next chapter reveals a name you already know, and a danger you never expected. It's called the Freightliner Cascadia. If you've been on an American road in the past 5 years, you've seen it. Probably hundreds of times. It's everywhere. On long hauls, parked at truck stops, pulling into major distribution centers. It's not just a truck. It's the flagship of the U.S. trucking industry. Since 2020, Freightliner has pushed the Cascadia as their crown jewel. Advanced aerodynamics, digital dash, smart driving assists. Fleets loved it. It was fuel-efficient, tech-savvy, and came backed by one of the biggest names in transportation. By 2021, nearly 1 in every 3 new Class 8 trucks sold in the U.S. was a Cascadia. But behind that polished exterior, things started to crack. Quietly, at first. A brake system that locked during downhill braking. Electrical glitches that caused full panel blackouts while drivers were on the highway. Cooling units that shut down during extreme temperatures, even when trucks were loaded and moving across desert roads. And the complaints didn't come from casual users. They came from long-haul professionals, people who depend on their machines to survive. One driver in Arizona posted a video after surviving a near-death experience. I was coming down the mountains at night, hit the jake brake, nothing. I slammed the foot brake, and it was soft. Way too soft. I barely managed to stop before hitting a van full of kids. Brand new truck, 3 months old. Investigations into the 20-house-20 and 2021 Cascadia models revealed something disturbing. Over 20,000 units were flagged for brake malfunctions, and yet many of those vehicles remained in service. Why? Because the recalls were either silent, internal, or poorly communicated. Some fleet managers didn't even know they had a dangerous truck on their lot. The deeper the data was pulled, the more alarming it became. Freightliner owners reported unexpected steering lockups, DF system failures, and sensor malfunctions that caused engines to shut down at highway speeds. The so-called smart systems, the very features meant to make the Cascadia safer, were, in many cases, the cause of the breakdowns. Drivers began comparing notes online. Forums lit up with post after post. Cascadia cut power while I was merging. New model, full system failure after 30,000 miles. No warning before shutdown. Had to pull to the shoulder with cars flying past me. And this wasn't a low-budget truck from a fringe manufacturer. It was Freightliner, backed by Daimler, one of the most powerful automotive giants in the world. You'd think that a company with that much money, reach, and reputation would respond fast. You'd think they'd pull every unit off the road, check every system, and make it right. But that didn't happen. Instead, in many cases, the trucks were patched, sent back out, and the cycle repeated. Some failures led to accidents. At least one fatal crash in Colorado was linked to brake failure on a 2021 Cascadia. And while the lawsuit is still working through the courts, the families involved aren't waiting for a verdict to tell the world what happened. And here's where it gets even worse. Because the Cascadia isn't the only one. There's another truck, newer, sleeker, and equally flawed. A truck sold to fleets as the next step in American logistics. And if you thought this was bad, what comes next will change the way you look at the road forever. That next truck is the International LT625. On the surface, it looked like everything the industry needed. Modern, streamlined, smart. It was designed to compete head-to-head with Freightliner's Cascadia, promising better fuel economy, smarter safety tech, and an improved driver experience. And for a while, it delivered. Until it didn't. Drivers began reporting strange electrical issues. Minor at first, flickering interior lights, random dash warnings, sensors triggering false alarms. But then, some reports took a darker turn. One trucker posted dash cam footage from I-70 in Kansas, cruising at 68 miles per hour when the entire system went dark. No dashboard, no headlights, no communication with dispatch. He coasted to the shoulder blind. When he restarted the engine, the truck refused to engage the transmission. Another driver hauling produce through Texas experienced something worse. The cabin filled with smoke, followed by a small fire near the fuse box. Investigators later found that wiring near the driver's side footwell had shorted due to heat exposure and vibration stress, something that could have been avoided with basic insulation improvements. The fire was contained, but it could have been much worse. The LT625's powertrain, particularly in the 2019-2022 models, has also been flagged for inconsistencies. Some units experienced engine surges, sudden RPM drops, and gear lockups in automatic mode. In high-traffic scenarios or steep terrain, this wasn't just annoying, it was dangerous. Technicians and safety auditors raised alarms about the advanced driver assistance systems, ADAS, installed in these trucks. Marketed as a safety feature that detects fatigue, lane drift, and following distance, the system frequently gave false positives or failed to respond at all. One driver described being beeped at every 10 minutes for no reason, until the system eventually stopped working altogether. These aren't isolated complaints. In a span of 18 months, over 7,000 formal incident reports were filed with fleet managers and service centers across the country involving LT625 systems. And yet, the model remains on the road, moving across every state, carrying food, fuel, and freight, with drivers who don't always know what they're up against, because no one told them. No one told them that their truck might stall without warning, or catch fire, or misread fatigue and let them doze off behind the wheel. And once you realize that these failures are baked into the design, not caused by bad maintenance, not driver error, the truth becomes impossible to ignore. This isn't about just one truck. It's not even about two. This is about something much bigger. And in the final moments, we're going to show you why the most dangerous thing on the road isn't the truck itself. It's what the industry refuses to say out loud. These trucks were supposed to make the roads safer, more efficient, and more advanced. But somewhere between the marketing campaigns and the profit margins, something went wrong. Freightliner Cascadia, International LT6225, two of the most widely used trucks in the country, and two of the most problematic. And still, they roll forward, every day, thousands of miles, past families, past schools, past homes. The industry knows, the manufacturers know, but the truth? That gets buried under lawsuits, technical bulletins, and PR spin. It shouldn't take a fatal crash to fix a flaw. It shouldn't take a grieving family to trigger a recall. But that's where we are. So if you've ever trusted that the machines beside you on the highway were safe, it's time to question that trust. Share this video. Speak up. And don't forget, the next time you see a truck flying down the road, you may be looking at a time bomb on wheels.